What's up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video. And that's right, folks. It's your favorite segment, my favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment, where we take a look at the financial data for DSP Gaming, DSP Reacts, and DST Throwback. That's right. And as everyone knows, we take a look at the numbers to do a couple things. One, to hold Pig Roach accountable. Two, to ensure that the business and the liquidity is on point. And a new reason is to track the WWE Champions spending. That's right, folks. And boy Doody added a new tab for WWE Champions. And anytime our boy Phil decides to pull those Hogans, we're going to take a look. We're going to document it, as you guys can see right here. And we'll keep track of that, and we'll do a compare to the weekly tips to what Phil spent on WWE Champions. And real quick, as I reported in my last video about WWE Champions, Phil so far has spent $10,289 on WWE Champions. And the total tip amount for Phil for 2024 so far, is $12,235. So expect our boy Phil to waste some of that tip money overnight. And once TJ Gamebox reports out, we'll definitely pump a video out and we'll update those totals. But anyway, you guys aren't here for that. You guys are here to hear the financial numbers and to see if our boy Phil resorted to eating ham sandwiches on his day off. So let's take a look. That's right. So the work week, as you guys know, was 6 days. It completed yesterday, and Phil managed to pull in $1,132, which actually was an uptick from the previous week where he only pulled in $829. So he did get a nice bump in that. But the problem, of course, always is when the tips go up, the super chats go down, and that this week was no different. It was pretty fucking abysmal for our boy Phil. For the work week, Phil managed to pull in $166 in super chats. Wow. I'm gonna just let that marinate right there for you. $166. Now you know why Phil. Now you know why Phil's in full panic every day when he talks about YouTube side contributions. It's two reasons. Anytime he gets tip money, he wastes it on bullshit. He wastes it on gambling, WWE Champions, Gin, DoorDash, and so on. And the YouTube side contributions like Super Chats go to pay the bills. The mere fact that no one is buying memberships because of the Argentinian detractors, coupled with the fact that Super Chats are way down, is hurting Phil. It is. It's hurting Phil. He's admitted to it finally, and I've been saying the same thing for almost 2 years. So, as you can see, he pulled $166 in super chats compared to what he did last week, which was $350. So for the grand total this work week, Phil pulled in $1,298 compared to last week, which was $1,179. I mean, he did make an additional $120, and he could thank that in part to OIC coming in yesterday and dropping some cash on Baldur's Gate and Like a Dragon Infinite Beg. I think he ended up dropping $100 on Infinite Beg, and then I think like $50 on Baldur's Gate 3. So right there, one super dent, is the difference between an abysmal work week and an okay support week. So if we take a look at the grand totals for March, Phil has pulled in total $4,827. Again, these are gross numbers. These are just super chats and tips. I'm not including memberships, Patreon, or ad revenue. Again, this is just tips and super chats. So it looks like he's probably going to probably make less this month than he did in February. I mean, he only has, what, 2 streaming days left? So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make up that money. So, yeah, couple the fact that the tips have been meh and the super chats have been abysmal and no one is buying memberships, Phil is going to have a rough time paying his bills. I know that, that being said, I had posted a video of Phil complaining when he was going through his bankruptcy that he was counting on a birthday present that his parents were going to give him to help him pay the bills. And he wasn't sure how much that amount was, so he was stressed out. I could see Phil counting on that birthday gift from his parents to pay some of his bills in April. It's not going to be good for our boy Phil. If he doesn't have like a bang out birthday, yeah, it's not going to be good for Phil. He's going to need at least like $8,000 to $1,000 just to kind of be okay or recoup those losses from both the super chats being abysmal and the memberships just tanking on Phil. And there's no end in sight. From what I heard from my sources, the Argentinian nation is planning a super attack on Phil's birthday as it relates to membership. So stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. Now, for viewership, we don't have those numbers yet. I'll have that probably Sunday once the month is over. But spoiler alert, it's way less than last month. I mean, we're looking at maybe 520,000 views across 3 fucking channels, folks. 3 channels. This is a man that used to get millions of views a couple years ago, like about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. He would average about 1 million views. And 2 years later, he's barely cracking 500,000. For a channel that has over 200,000 subs and have been around for 15 years, that's some pretty shitty fucking numbers, man. Alrighty. So now let's look at the grand total for 2024 and do a compare. So far this year, Phil's made $12,235 in tips compared to last year where he made $12,728. So he's still lagging behind, but he's pretty close. And then in super chats, again, this is where Phil is lacking. Phil made $3,626 this year. In 2023, he made $5,393. So for a grand total, Phil's made $15,861 compared to $17,950 for a negative decrease of 9%, folks. 9%. Phil hasn't been able to crack that number or lower it. He's hovering between like 9 and 11%. And most of it, again, is due because of the super chats. The dents are just not throwing money his way. And again, like I've stated over and over again, there's no extra money coming in for Phil. It's just the dents shuffling money around. If they give him super chats, they won't give him tips. If they give him tips, they won't give him super chats. And so is the cycle of DSP. Now, let's do a compare. Like I said, Phil managed to make $15,861 for 2024 so far. Now, if you compare that to 2022, which was an okay year for Phil, he made $24,798. He is behind. It's a net decrease of income, negative 37%. Now, you couple that with just super chats and tips, and then you add in ad revenue, which we know is just abysmal. You add in the Patreon, which shrinks, has shrunk more. Phil is making significantly less in 2024 than he is in 2023 or 2022. Now, I know most people used to say he used to pull in about 120,000 a year. Yeah, no more. Last year, I figured that he probably pulled in a little close to about 100,000. I don't think he's making $100,000 in 2024. He'll be lucky if he breaks 85,000, the way things are going for Phil. And for someone that has so much debt, that has so many bills, which Phil does, Phil does have a lot of bills, and it's a lot of old debt that isn't going away anytime fucking soon. That's a lot of cash that Phil has to pay. It is. And if like me and a couple other people have said, we don't think Kat's working. She isn't working. She's at home. So that's one less income, even though it's 3 days a week or whatever the fuck Kat used to work. Yeah, that's money that's not coming into the Burnell Snortfort household. So it's not looking good for our boy Phil. It is not. And yeah, folks, that's all I had to say. Again, next week should be more interesting. We'll have the viewership information. And then, of course, we know that Phil's going to drop some hard cash on WWE Champions, seeing that he managed to pull in, he managed to pull in $1,132. Yep. And let's not forget, he did get the YouTube check last week. So, he's stupid. He's a dumb guy. He sees that cash sitting in his bank account and he can't help himself. So not only will he waste $1,132 that he received in tips, he'll probably dip into some of his YouTube check like the idiot the man is. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.